21 minutes past the hour now. Donald Trump trying to, again, to turn his big crowds into actual big votes. He certainly came up short in Iowa after leading in most polls, and then he pretended like somebody stole it, and then he stopped pretending that. So we're back in just smooth sailing. He's had even bigger leads here in New Hampshire, and my next guest says this primary could be a huge test for that Donald. David Catanese is the senior politics writer for U.S. News and World Report, and he's here with us in Manchester. He got to win big.
I think he's got to win really big. Most polls.
What's really big?
I think he's got to win by double digits, and I think he's got to hit 30%, because most polls, I mean, frankly, since July, have showed him 28 to 35%. So I think a 30% marker is very good for him, and if he can spread it out by 10 points, Rubio, Kasich at 20, that's a nice big win for him, and it will allay sort of the critics, push back on them who say, he can't get his vote out. He's all about the big rallies and the big polls, but people don't turn out for him.
What happens if he doesn't get that kind of numbers?
I think then you're going to have more critics come at him. I mean, it's tough. This is all an expectation game because of all the public polling available. It's the same thing for the Democrats and Bernie Sanders and what he's facing. But I think for Trump, because he lost Iowa and came in second, you had all the, even though he got the second most votes in Iowa history, he still lost, and it was, well, he doesn't have the organization. His people don't turn out. Is he really a durable candidate that can go the long haul? And here, he's been better positioned. It's easier to vote because it's a primary, so people don't come out for him. Even if he wins only by 2 points and Rubio or Kasich are right at his heels, there are going to be critics and there are going to be doubts.
Well, Chris Christie, no question, roughed up Marco Rubio in that debate. But does Chris Christie benefit from that? Or what would you call what he did? No, it's okay here.
I think
it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
No one's watching.
I think he was the suicide bomber.
The suicide bomber. I like that. Go on.
Because he sacrificed himself on Saturday night. Because I think he was dangling in the single digits without much of a chance. He needed to jump back in the media. And he knew going at Marco was his play. But I think he also blows up himself because a lot of people don't like you beating on, Republicans don't like inter-party warfare. I mean, I was there at a Kasich rally yesterday, and the biggest applause line he has is, I haven't beat up anybody. I've been positive, and people stood up, and they liked that. So I think Christie hurts Rubio and probably benefits Kasich if you're looking at those moderate stream of governors to choose from.
I've been watching Kasich all day, all over the television. He's so calm. And they seem to know, they look like the cat who ate the canary. I mean, they seem like they know something.
Watching him he just emotes.
Yeah.
He wants, to me, I wrote this story the other day.
He's not always relaxed. He worked for us here at the FNC. I know he's not always relaxed. I have witnessed it. Today he is.
He is relaxed because he has said, I'm not going to change. This is how I've campaigned. I've campaigned positively, joyfully. I want to come in and give people hugs. I mean, his town halls are sort of like a group therapy session. They are not your normal GOP, like Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, Chris Christie type of event where you're professing strength. John Kasich's all about the kumbaya, and he's sort of like live and let live. If this doesn't work, he said last night, I'm not going to change. You know, if I lose, and I go back to Ohio and have a good life. That's his whole rationale, but there is a sense of confidence around him and his team.
Do you sense that from Cruz?
I don't, but I don't think Cruz needs this. I think this is always a long ball for Cruz, and he's going on to the South where he's really well organized. He will be a threat in South Carolina, and then remember, March 1st, most of those states are Southern primaries, Tennessee, Georgia, Arkansas. That's where Cruz thinks he's going to play. New Hampshire was always his toughest state on the map.
Does a governor get left in the snow here? Is there one?
I do. I think somebody has to go, right? I mean, I think a governor will drop out. Looks like it might be Christie after this because of money, right? I don't know if you're a donor. If he finishes at 9% tonight and is in 6th place, if you're a donor, why do you open your wallet for Christie anymore? And he's only got about $1 million left to spend. So, and a lot of that's probably been spent in the last couple days here. So,
Jeff Exclamation has all the money anyone could ever want.
Right. He has the toughest decision of all. Because if he doesn't place well, what does he do? He has the money to go on.
Yep.
And usually you don't drop out, you run out of money. That's why campaigns end. So does Jeb stay in even with a poor showing here? I think that's probably the biggest question mark. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know how you benefit from getting out if you have more money than you can spend anyway. I mean,
Well, it's
You
for the
never know.
party.
There might be an explosion somewhere. There might be an earthquake.
true.
I don't know.
But it's for the good of the party, right? People are going to come and say to him,
In theory.
Jeb, you've got all this money, you've made your case, you've hit Marco, you've hit Rubio pretty hard, but it just hasn't worked out. Are you going to step aside and start to consolidate? Because, frankly, the best scenario for Trump is if they all go on. He's going to if he's at 30%, if they all go on to South Carolina, that is good news for Donald Trump.
The man from New Jersey was a suicide bomber. Right in on Camp Rubio. I didn't make anything. I liked it. Maybe you'll get to make.
All right.
It's great to see you.
Good to see you, Chef.
Thanks.